Hello everyone. This should be live now. I'm going to test out streaming here. I stream Paolo versus Koda. Okay, so yeah, this should be some fun stuff. This is gonna be I've first time actually trying to learn, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, this should be some fun stuff. Yeah, it looks like we're still waiting on Paolo to join. When he joins, it'll be good stuff. Otherwise, I don't know what else to talk about. There's some drama. Okay, King's Code. All right, that is interesting. We're gonna be joining a new code, I guess. I accidentally missed a letter there. All right. Looks like Coda is playing George Washington. Paolo is going to be playing as we're yet to see. So yeah, it'd be a fun time, you know. So, anyways, let's see. We're just waiting on Paolo to join. I don't know what to talk about. Still, still learning. Still learning. Still learning. So, not sure. To do. Is there anyone there? Oh, it still looks like Paolo is joined as FDR. Should be a fun matchup potentially. George Washington versus FDR, two kind of similar candidates, but not the same, of course, but two very similar ones. So it should be a good matchup. See who wins now. There isn't really a rivalry between these two, but Koda joined the Mighty Trios Adventure Tournament, which is like a tournament that's supposed to be for like a group of three and they have items and stuff. And he hasn't been hitting it off super well with a lot of other people in the chat. So that's a kind of a thing. And then Paulo was around to play him, so they decided to play. Looks like Koda went to Texas as George Washington. Paulo went labor as FDI. So we'll see how this works out. Alright, looks like the FDI has the labor. I wonder what he's gonna do now that Texas is being so filled in by Washington. We'll have to see. I almost wonder if he tries to chase him in Texas, trying to take it. Although we might see him going for like California. Because FDR is actually not horrible out of California. He's got that 20% high tech, he's got that 20% oil, so he isn't horrible out of California. Alright, so he did go California. Washington going for oil. With that nice oil bonus. He doesn't have a bonus in oil. like a bonus stat in oil. He's neutral on that. But if he wants to potentially go after Texas and stuff, he'll need it. It is curious that Washington didn't go for a national group, 40% national groups. And he could try and pressure California. Yeah, well, I'm interested to see how this goes. I wonder, Paolo's probably going to go up in California and into the oil states. Koda's probably going to get oil. Zero spend, alright. Looks like, yeah. So there's a lot of money here. He, I think he probably pressures Washington in a lot of these states. So, yeah. See where this matchup goes. Should be a good one. Okay, I don't really know what else to talk about. Someone wants me to talk about something, let me know. Because I don't really know what else to talk about. There is a stream delay. So, like, I can't see your messages right as they come in. I guess I can't. I won't. I can respond to them, but you won't hear it. Okay, Paolo's going for New York. He's not contesting the oil states. He's just going straight for a town and tech. And yeah. All right. So Koda currently has two state groups. FDR has one national group, zero state groups. So we'll. It's looking like it could be a close match. Looking like it could go either way at this point. I think Washington probably has the slight edge right now, but FDR could definitely make a comeback, especially if he gets Florida and can get swing, African American, all that. But who knows? It could be anyone's game, really. It's looking pretty close. And if anyone wants to give me anything to talk about, because I mean, also can someone just let me know if they can hear me? 'Cause I'm not sure if I am. Should be. Should be able to hear me, but not sure. Yeah, all of it. Yeah, as you can tell, I have absolutely no idea what to talk about. Uh, the matchup. It looks like the all the timers being used on this one. Will we see a zero spend? We might end up seeing a zero spend due to timer running out. That would be an interesting development. But okay, I don't know if FDI let the timer run out or if that was intentional. Either way, it looks like George Washington is gaining pretty quickly. Even though FDR has 250K extra, George Washington has two state groups. He's in a lot more states. And FDR, even with all that money, isn't in any of Washington states. So at this point, I have to give the odds to Washington. I think Washington's in the better position here. Even before, I think FDR was in a slightly better position. Yeah, because Washington can get swing states, and he can get Old South this turn, which puts him up in a really good spot to get African American, export, agriculture. Like he's on track for a bunch of really good bonuses. Well, we'll see. What did this turn lead us to? Washington gets Old South. FDR gets high tech and town and gown. Perfect. Looks like the bonuses are even. Two with three bonuses to free, but one FDR in terms of state groups is lagging behind. FDR is in a better position this turn, but I think those that 1-0 spin might end up delaying him. So we'll see how that goes. See if he can come back from this. Oh, he didn't get swing. I guess he didn't go up in Nevada. I thought he was in Nevada, New Hampshire or something. I guess I just missed it. I miss things sometimes. You know, I'm new to this whole streaming thing. I'm used to doing normal videos, as you might know if you're a regular viewer of the channel. But either way, well, it looks like I'm gonna try looking at each of these turns. Illinois pressure. So it looks like FDR is expanding the states. Washington swipes Massachusetts, but does take town and gown. FDR goes up in Michigan. He enters Minnesota. He steals North Carolina by 1. That's a big steal. I don't know if that flips any. That takes away Old South. It doesn't give FDR anything yet, I don't think. No, it doesn't. But it does take away Old South, and I think. No, he still gets swing. If FDR can keep North Carolina, that could be a good move, but I'm not sure if he can. Money is all even, but Washington has 3 state groups to FDR's 1. Now, what we might see, Washington's also in more of FDR's states. Oh, very good. There's Sapun. Hi, Sapun. How are you? Thank you for commenting. Can you hear me? I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or not. I hope you can. It should be able to. This is one of my first times using OBS. I'm just trying it out. Gonna see if I can do more live streams in the future. But yeah, looking like Washington's they're in a pretty close monetary advantage. Washington's leading electorals, and in terms of states he's in a lot more than FDR. FDR can get town and gown this turn. He can't get Latino. He can't get African American, even if he keeps all the states. George Washington is Koda. FDR is Paolo. So yeah. Okay, thank you. I'm glad that you guys can hear me. Because sometimes my laptop's mic isn't the greatest. Oh, I accidentally pressed skip turn. I'm so used to pushing the skip turn button I do it by reflex. Alright, so let's look at what we missed. Massachusetts and Illinois both locked. Washington gains back Old South, I think it is. So it's now 4 bonuses to 2 because Paolo gained town and gown. So Paolo wants African American. We'll see if he can get that. I'm not sure if FDR can get that. He'd need to enter into a lot more states because Washington has almost double the money. And he's in a lot more states. Yeah, we'll see how this turns out. I still think Washington has been just building up his lead. Arizona maxed out, pushed to the limit. California double pip pressure. A spend in Colorado, interesting. No pressure in there, but just a defense. North Carolina maxed out. Alright. New Jersey went up in. New Mexico, small defense. Virginia is flipped by FDR. I don't know how much that's going to do. And FDR and his Wisconsin. So, Washington gets African American. FDR gets Latino. 5 bonuses to 4. 5 state groups to 3. Washington spent a lot of his money. Is he going to try and go California? Or is he going to think Paolo is going to overspend? Because that's certainly possible. But yeah, I really have to give the odds here to Washington. Not quite enough electorals for the ballot. This game is at, I believe, 57 if the math is correct, and you need 100. So perhaps the The ballot's coming sooner rather than later, turn 11, so normally the ballot happens between like turn 12 and 18, depending on the game. This game, I don't know, I feel like Paolo probably wants a ballot sooner rather than later to try and make like a sneaky quick ballot come back. But Washington, I think, is in the better position here, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, FDR in Alaska, Washington, Arkansas, Defense in California by FDR, up in Hawaii by Washington, up in Idaho by Washington, two pips in Iowa Defense by FDR, up in Kansas by Washington, pressure in Minnesota, FDR enters Missouri, up in Nebraska by Washington, to preferred, one extra pip in New Hampshire, make it two, pressure in New Jersey, pressure in Oregon by FDR, Virginia stolen by Washington. FDR enters Vermont, FDR pressures Washington, and Washington pressures Wisconsin. I should probably specify Washington State, but George Washington getting that 60% agriculture bonus at 80K. Kind of a huge bonus, hugest, largest agriculture in the game. But yeah, we'll see. Money is still comparable. Like Washington's at like 160K more. No, not 160K more. Only 70K more. Yeah, I thought this is. Yeah, it should be. No, wait, I don't know. Yeah, 160K more. I don't know what math I'm doing. All right. All right, Arkansas up by one. California defense. Washington enters Connecticut. And Maine, there's a clash. Looks like the potential ballot attempt by Washington was thwarted. Although I don't know how much good it is, Paolo. New Jersey swept by Washington. Oregon, Washington went up there. Looks like South Dakota, and then Washington takes Washington State to the third pip. Alright, looks like we're almost at ballot. Whoever enters Maine gets the. Someone enters Maine this turn, it's ballot. Alright, now Washington has 300K, sorry, not 300K more. 8 state group bonuses to 2. FDR still has that labor. But I don't know if FDR can pull this off. If he can. He's just not in almost none of Washington states. He's not. Like, if he was in Texas and Florida, he might be able to make Washington overspend, but he's not even in, like, Pennsylvania, Louisiana, Georgia, states like that, even Colorado. New Jersey was stolen by him, so he lost Latino. And, yeah. I don't know if FDR can come back from this. He might be able to make it close, but wouldn't surprise me to see a forfeit because I don't think the position FDR is in is very good at all. Timer is getting low. Is there going to be another zero spend from someone? We'll see how this goes. Alright, looks like there's no zero spend. FDR enters Alabama. FDR enters Colorado. Connecticut. Washington goes up by one in DC and Delaware. Defends Florida by one, even though FDR's not in there. Washington defends Georgia by one, but FDR enters that at the same turn. Louisiana he defends by two, even though FDR just entered it at the same turn. Another clash in Maine. So the ballot's going to be delayed yet again, although there's not enough states locked in for the ballot. That's the thing. New Jersey locked in, that gets it a lot closer. Actually put it to like what? 71? If I remember correctly. Okay, this has to be the ballot turn after this one, right? Right, if this goes to like 50 turns, I'm not streaming all of that. That's a little bit too much. Right, no bonuses changed hands. Hmm. Does Washington go for California? It's a very risky move. But if you take California, you get that would take high tech, especially if he keeps Pennsylvania, Maryland. But it would also really, if Powell blocks it, there's like nothing. Washington is in a worse position. I still think Washington has this though. I think FDR is just trying to make it a little bit closer. Yeah, we'll see what we get. Looks like the turn went down. These guys are using their time, which is, I guess, good to strategize and hopefully make the best moves that we can. Big spend by Washington. What did he spend that? Some defenses and some small states. After he defends California, Washington maxes out Colorado. He maxes out Georgia. Alright, it's probably gonna be a ballot if he keeps maxing out states. Please, no, I just need to. Okay, Maine is entered. Someone, does it stick? Yes, Maine is officially entered. Michigan maxed out, stolen from FDR. Mississippi up. And some pressure in some of these states. New Mexico locked. FDR is just entering a bunch of states, entering Oklahoma. Oregon is locked. No, not locked. It's actually up to the ninth. But it looked like it was locked, though. Washington locked. Wisconsin not locked, but went very highly. Virginia up and in Wyoming. So, final turn of the game. I'm not doing any bets, but if I had to guess, I'm going to predict Washington ends up winning, and I think FDR probably ends up losing. I think FDR probably pulls at like 30 electoral votes. I'm going to predict the final score to be, say, 187 for FDR, I think is the total. Over under 150. Yeah, I think FDR just didn't get expand enough into the state groups early on. He sort of waited. And when you go for a national group, normally you try and like fight your opponent and delay the state groups. And FDR just wasn't able to catch up, and the Washington got the lead, and he kept it. So we'll see how this goes in the book. Arkansas flipped by FDR. DC defended. Delaware defended. Indiana flipped by FDR. Kentucky flipped by FDR. I still don't think it's possible for FDR to win this, but he is making it closer. Can he get to over 200? Maine flipped. Mississippi defended. Missouri defended. Montana flipped. That's 184 for FDR. North Dakota blocked in Nevada. Oh, Ohio flips. That's a big flip. Oregon defended. FDR makes it at 204. Washington blocks Pennsylvania. FDR flips South Carolina. Washington defends Tennessee. Vermont flipped by Washington. Wisconsin maxed out by Washington. FDR flips West Virginia, so the final score will be 324 Washington to 214 FDR. FDR was able to gain on the ballot to make it more close, but that wasn't quite enough for him to get the W. That was an interesting game. Thank you guys for letting me stream. And yeah, I might stream again in the future, I'm not sure. But we will see. Here is final map for all of you election final map fans out there. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. The stream is done.